Friends and viewer, good day. Today we are going to discuss about the novel of the another best novel of Ernest Hemingway, For Whom the Bell Tolls, written by Ernest Hemingway. As in our previous discourse, we discussed about his novel A Farewell to Arm, The Old Man and the Sea. So today we are going to discuss this novel, For Whom the Bell Tolls. This novel, the background of this novel it is about the Spanish Civil War of 1930. An American volunteer who fight for the leftist Republican and against the fascist nationalist. The name of this American volunteer is Robert Jordan. And the scene of the novels opens like this, that in the May of 1937, at the height of Spanish Civil War, an American man named Robert Jordan, who has left the United States to enlist on the Republican side in the war, travels behind enemy lines to work with Spanish guerrilla fighter or guerrilleros hiding in the mountains. The Republican command has assigned Robert Jordan the dangerous and difficult task of blowing up a fascist-controlled bridge as part of the larger Republican offensive. A peasant named Anselmo guides Robert Jordan to the guerrilla camp, which is hidden in a cave. Along the way, they encounter Pablo, the leader of the camp, who greets Robert Jordan with hostility and opposes the bridge operation because he believes it endangers the guerrillas' safety. Robert Jordan suspects that Pablo may betray or sabotage the mission. At the camp, Robert Jordan meets Pablo's woman, a large, sturdy, part gypsy. Pillar appeared to the real leader of the band of guerrilleros. A rapport quickly developed between Robert Jordan and Pillar. During the course of the evening, Robert Jordan meets the 6 other inhabitants of the camp: the unreliable Raphael, feisty and foul-mouthed Augustine, dignified Fernando, old Primitivo, and brothers Andres and Eladio. The camp also sheltered a young woman named Maria, whom a band of fascists raped not long before. Robert Jordan and Maria are immediately drawn to each other. Robert Jordan and Anselmo leave the camp to scout out the bridge. When they return, Pablo publicly announces that neither he nor his guerrilleros will help blow up the bridge. Pillar and other disagree, however, so Pablo sullenly gives in. Privately, Raphael urged Robert Jordan to kill Pablo, but Pillar insists that Pablo is not dangerous. That night, Mario comes out to join Robert Jordan. As he sleeps outside, they profess love for each other and make love. So what happened that the next morning, Pillar leads Robert Jordan through the forest to consult with El Sordo, the leader of another band of guerrilleros, about the bridge operation. They take Mario along. El Sordo agrees to help with the mission, but both he and Robert Jordan are troubled by the fact that bridge must be blown up. Blown in daylight, which will make their retreat more difficult. On the way back to Pablo's camp, Robert Jordan and Maria make love in the forest. When they catch up with Pillar, Maria confessed to Pillar that earth moved as they made love. Pillar, impressed, says that such a thing happens no more than 3 times in a person's lifetime. Back at the camp, a drunken Pablo insults Robert Jordan, who tries to provoke Pablo, hoping to find an excuse to kill him. Pablo refuses to be provoked even when Augustine hits him in the face. When Pablo steps away for a few minutes, the others agree that he is dangerous and must be killed. Robert Jordan volunteered to do it. Suddenly, Pablo returns and announces that he has changed his mind and will help him with the bridge. Later that night, Mario comes outside to sleep with Robert Jordan again. They talk about their feeling that they are one person, that they share the same body. In the morning, Robert Jordan wakes up, see a fascist cavalryman and shoots him, awakening the camp. After breakfast, the group hears sounds of a fight in the distance. Robert Jordan believes that the fascists are attacking El Sordo's camp. Augustine and Primitivo want to aid El Sordo, but Robert Jordan and Pillar know that it would be useless. The scene shifts to El Sordo's hill, which a group of fascists is assaulting. El Sordo men play dead and manage to shoot the fascist captain. But several minutes later, fascist plans bomb the hilltop and kill everyone in El Sordo's band. The ranking fascist officer ordered the beheading of all the corpses of El Sordo's men. The guerrilleros at Pablo's camp, having heard the planes bomb El Sordo's hill, feel glum as they eat lunch. Robert Jordan writes a dispatch to the Republican command recommending that both the bridge operation and the larger offensive be cancelled, for the fascists are aware of the plan and the operation will not succeed. He sends Andres to deliver the dispatch to the headquarters of General Goals, a Republican leader. Maria again joins Robert Jordan in his sleeping bag that night, and they fantasize about their future life in Madrid. Meanwhile, in Madrid, Robert Jordan's friend, a Russian journalist named Kharkov, learns that fascists know about the offensive the Republicans have planned for the next day. Kharkov worries about the Robert Jordan. At 2 a.m, Pillar wakes Robert Jordan and reports that Pablo has fled the camp with some of the explosives that were more meant to blow the bridge. Though furious at first, Robert Jordan controls his anger and plans to carry out the operation anyway. With fewer explosives, he wakes up Maria, and as they make love, they feel the earth move again. Pablo suddenly returns just before dawn, claiming that he left in a moment of weakness. He says that he threw the explosive into the river but felt great loneliness after doing so. He has brought back 5 men with their horses from neighboring guerrilla bands to help the fighter take their position. The scene shifts to Andres, who has been traveling through the night to deliver Robert Jordan's dispatch to General Goals. Crossing into Republican territory, Andres is slowed when several suspicious but apathetic officers question him. When Andres and his escort finally near Goals' headquarters, a politician named Andre Marti suspect that they are fascist spies and ordered them arrested. Robert Jordan's friend Kharkov hears about the arrest and uses his influence to free the man. Robert Jordan's dispatch finally reaches Goals but arrives too late. The Republican offensive already has begun and can no longer be stopped. As dawn breaks, Robert Jordan and Anselmo descend on the bridge, shoot the fascist sentries, and plant the explosive. Pilar arrives and says that Eladio had been killed while Fernando, fatally wounded, must be left behind. When Robert Jordan detonates the explosive, the bridge falls, but shrapnel from the blast strikes Anselmo and kills him. Pablo emerged from below, saying that all 5 of his men are dead. Augustine accuses Pablo of shooting the man for his horses, and Pablo does not deny it. As the group crosses the road in retreat, a fascist bullet hits Robert Jordan's horse, which tramples on the Robert Jordan left leg, breaking it. Knowing that he must be left behind, Robert Jordan says goodbye to Maria, saying that he will be with her even if she goes. Pilar and Pablo lead Maria away. Alone, Robert Jordan contemplates suicide but resolved to stay alive to hold off the fascist. He is grateful for having lived in his final few days a full lifetime. For the first time, he feels integrated in harmony with the world. As the fascist lieutenant approaches, Robert Jordan takes aim, feeling his heart beating against the floor of the forest. So this is the story of the For Whom the Bell Tolls, a volunteer, American volunteer who fight in a Spanish Civil War. So ladies and gentlemen, let us view the theme, the loss of innocence in war. Each of the character in For Whom the Bell Tolls loses his or her psychological or physical innocence to the war. Some endure tangible traumas. Joaquin loses both his parents and is forced to grow up quickly, while Maria loses her physical innocence when she is raped by a group of fascist soldiers. On the top of these tangible physical costs of war come many psychological costs. Robert Jordan initially came to Spain with idealism about the Republican cause and believed confidently that he was joining the good side. But after fighting in the war, Robert Jordan becomes cynical about the Republican cause and loses much of his initial idealism. The victims of the violence in the war are not the only one to lose their innocence. The perpetrator lose their innocence too. The ruffians in Pablo's hometown participate in massacre of town. Fascists have to face their inner brutality. So the value of human life is also involved in this novel. Many characters die during the course of the novel, and we see characters repeatedly question what can possibly justify killing another human being. Anselmo and Pablo represent two extremes with regard to this question. Anselmo hates killing people in all circumstances, although he will do so if he must. Pablo, on the other hand, accepts killing as part of his life and ultimately demonstrates that he is willing to kill his own men just to take their horses. Robert Jordan's position about killing falls somewhere between Anselmo and Pablo's position. Although Robert Jordan doesn't like to think about killing, he has killed many people in the line of duty. His personal struggle with question ends on the note of compromise. Although war can't fully absolve him of guilt, he has no right to forget any of it. Robert Jordan knows both that he must kill people as part of his duties in the war, and dwelling on his guilt during wartime is not productive. Romantic love as a salvation, even though many of characters from the For Whom the Bell Tolls take a cynical view of human nature and feel fatigued by the war. Novel still holds out hope for romantic love. Even the worldly wise Pilar in her memories of finito. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, the novel For Whom the Bell Tolls, a very beautiful novel written on the background of Spanish Civil War in 1930, act of bravery, an act of a man or American volunteer who came to Spain in order to fight for the cause of Republican side. So this is a very beautiful novel. We will enjoy it after a while we read it thoroughly. Thank you very much.